The land of India displays great physical diversity. The Himalayas, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, and the islands are the major physiographic divisions of India. The Himalayan mountains are geologically young and structurally fold mountains. They stretch over the northern boundaries of India. The Himalayas consist of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. They are Inner Himalayas or Himadri, Lesser Himalayas or Himachal, and Shivalik ranges. The northern plain is formed by three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. The northern plain is formed of alluvial soil. The northern plateau is broadly categorized into the Punjab plains, the Ganga plains, and the Brahmaputra plains. The peninsular plateau is a tableland composed of old crystalline, igneous, and metamorphic rocks. It is a part of the oldest landmass. The plateau consists of two broad divisions: the Central Highlands, Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand, and Chota Nagpur Plateau, and the Deccan Plateau. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau. The Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It consists of wave-like sandy plain covered with sand dunes. The peninsular plateau is flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal land running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. These coastal lands are called coastal plains. India has two island groups, the Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep is a group of small coral islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are believed to be an evaluated portions of submarine mountains. These islands have a great diversity of flora and fauna. The Himalayas, geologically young and structurally fold mountains, stretch over the northern borders of India. These mountain ranges run in a west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. They form an arc which covers a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. The Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges. The Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. The northmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. The range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system and is known as Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. The outermost range of the Himalayas is called the Shivaliks. The physical features of India can be grouped under the following physiographic divisions. 1. The Himalayan mountains. 2. The northern plains. 3. The peninsular plateau. 4. The Indian desert. 5. The coastal plains. 6. The islands. The Himalayas, geologically young and structurally fold mountains, stretch over the north borders of India. The northern plain. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. The peninsular plateau. The peninsular plateau consists of two border divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of the peninsular plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. The Vindhya range is bounded by the Satpura range on the south and the Aravalis on the northwest. The Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats mark the western and the eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. The Indian Desert. The Indian Desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. The Coastal Plains. The Peninsular Plateau is flanked by stretch of narrow coastal strips running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. The plains along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. In the northern part, it is referred to as the Northern Sircar, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel Coast. Large rivers such as the Mahanandi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri have formed extensive delta on these coasts. Islands. Lakshadweep Islands group lie close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. This group of islands is composed of small coral islands. The elongated chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal, extending from north to south, are Andaman and Nicobar Islands.